Welcome back to the Joust About Careers podcast. This episode features the highlights of the conversation with Ashley Little, a 2007 Van Buren graduate who is the Director of Graduate Admissions at the University of Findlay. The highlights focus on how a typical day looks for Ashley, how her career path hasn't always been perfectly smooth, what students who will need to attend graduate school should do to prepare for a successful transition, and more. If you want to learn more about Ashley's career journey, you can always watch or listen to her full interview. And if you find this podcast useful, please share it with someone else who could benefit from it. Enjoy the highlights, and I'll see you back here next Monday for a brand new episode. Have a great week.
Truthfully, each day is a little different. I would say that more so it's looked at in my world by the week. So we look at a lot of things kind of cyclically, right? So admissions, recruitment in general is cyclical. So I would say, Mondays I spend a lot of time reporting, getting caught up on emails, text messages, those sorts of things from the weekend, reviewing any sort of new inquiry or application that we've had come in. That's something that I pretty much do daily. I host a team meeting. I do oversee 2 counselors, so we have that. And then truthfully, just really kind of rolling with things as they come in. We've been working really hard recently on different recruitment efforts, so I spend a lot of time searching for different universities that we could potentially partner with that maybe have undergraduate funnels that don't offer graduate programs. So I would say that that's kind of what takes the most of my daily activities, at least right now. Yeah, I think I do. Not so much like the nitty gritty of actually creating pieces, but knowing what I know from my graphic design background, I think it allows me to approach different marketing tools that, we have here at the university, or kind of communicate with our marketing staff in a way that maybe people who don't have that background, they might not be able to communicate with them that way. Yeah. And I actually still do graphic design on the side. I have done some wedding invite spreads for people. Sometimes I still like to design for my own kids' birthday parties and those sorts of fun things. So now it's kind of more just for fun, a very expensive, fun hobby. I landed where I am now for a reason. I think that the choices that I made eventually led me here. Unfortunately, COVID wasn't super friendly to me. So I had a couple jobs during those COVID years where they let mass amounts of people go, and I ended up losing those positions. I wouldn't say that maybe my route is the best route. I think maybe a more traditional sense, if you kind of have an idea of what you want to do. I think that in high school, it's a very difficult time to really know what it is you want to do for the rest of your life, right? And at the time, art was what I was really passionate about. And so I don't think I would change it. I definitely think if you can have a better plan, maybe from the get-go, with kind of where you see yourself long-term, it might help you land, that bigger dream company right away, or the position to get you in the door to where you want to be long-term. I wouldn't necessarily say that there is a major that really speaks strictly to becoming like an admissions counselor. I think it's more about personality. So all of our undergrad and graduate counselors are required to have a bachelor's degree of some sort. We see a lot of folks come in from all different worlds. Right now, we have some people who were previously educators, some that came from like corporate backgrounds. It just depends. I would say at the undergraduate level, a lot of students come in and it's their first job right out of college. So it's all about the personality, being able to, sell a product, really. I mean, we're selling a product to potential students, and who better than someone that just lived it, right?
Right.
So now at the grad level, it's a little bit different. I mean, even undergraduate studies aren't necessarily required for you to become successful, but we're having to work a lot harder. And so I would just say someone who's passionate, someone who's driven and really wants to help people achieve their long-term goals, no matter what college background you came from. I think looking back, and not just saying this because, of course, you're a Van Buren educator, but I truly had such a great high school experience. And I think that, specifically when I was going towards an art path, Mrs. Nye had a big impact on me, and she was tough, but she helped me build my confidence up and know that like I could achieve anything. I just had to put my mind to it. I think also some coaches that I had, Mrs. Bradagum will forever be someone who I hold near and dear to my heart. She's still someone that I speak to pretty regularly. She was a coach that really instilled in me hard work, and that when you fall down, you got to stand back up. You might not always make it to finals. You might not always make it to state, but you got to keep working hard. And while it's a little different, in athletics, I think that has really played to me being consistent, remaining focused, and pushing. Leadership is really something that I have always wanted. And so when it maybe wasn't obtained right away, I think I've continued to kind of pave my own path to get there. So I would say the difficult parts are, I'm a working director, so I cover the College of Education and our TESOL program. So I'm not just managing others. I too am in the nitty gritty of, recruiting students for these programs. There's a lot of challenges, as I mentioned. People don't necessarily see the value in continuing their education. And so it's finding ways to present that to potential students so they understand the benefits of where it could take them. Specifically in health professions, the sooner that they know they might want to continue their education on, and in some instances they would have to, right? Physician assistant, physical therapy, occupational therapy. I mean, all of those are going to require extended education. The sooner that they think they might want to do that, or even if they know before graduating high school, finding programs that offer some sort of early assurance. Or if they have like a 3+3 program, or as I mentioned, our pharmacy program has a 0+6. That means essentially you are entering into that program right away. You go through kind of a different process. And I would say the other biggest thing is, okay, maybe you don't know, you've done your 4 years or 3 years, whatever it might be of your undergrad, looking at some of these programs and seeing what prerequisites are required. I would say a lot of times what we run into is people are like, oh, shoot, my application's due, but I actually have 3 prerequisite courses that I'm going to have to take over the summer for whatever it might be to be accepted into, fully accepted into this program. And it can just cause a little bit more stress.
If you liked this Joust About Careers episode, you can explore previous episodes and highlights to learn about even more careers of Van Buren graduates. To be sure you don't miss upcoming episodes, please click subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform so you'll know when the next episode is released. Thank you for spending a portion of your day with us, and we hope you will continue to prepare for your future by learning just about careers.